Alright, hello, this is TT coming at you with my latest video called Abolish, Probation, and Parole, Part 1. Alright, the writing is about parole and probation. Before I begin, I would like to explain to you some of the terminology I will be using. For example, I will say tech, which means technical violation, which is something like changing your address, not reporting, giving a dirty urine, not obeying your curfew, or being homeless, therefore you have no address. Direct means you're in direct violation of your parole. You have violated by having a new case. A status sheet. A status sheet tells you the time you have, or programs you have to do to get out. For example, you're a violent offender, they want you to do violence prevention. Back time means street time. They take it back and put it on your tail. You violate, they take the time you spent on the streets and put it back on your sentence. It's a vicious cycle. You start back at square one. The time you did on the street doesn't matter. They also been doing people dirty such as me and adding extra time to that. I was on the street 14 months. They gave me 3.5 extra years. It's a lot of things they're doing. I will get into that more in Abolish, Probation, and Parole Part 2. Destiny Taylor, this is for you. I am strictly business. Okay. Abolish, Probation, and Parole Part 1. The punishment don't fit the crime. We're all doing a whole lot of time for violations. Some text, some direct. Don't matter. Still the same effect. Doing a whole nother sentence for a violation. These excessive hits. Parole, you really need to quit. Rachel got a possession charge. It wasn't nothing large. She went to court and the charge was dismissed. So state parole took her off their violation list. But lo and behold, she was on probation too. And letting her go was not something they were going to do. Even though she beat the charge, they still wouldn't let her go. They violated her for police contact. What is up with that? You go to court and beat the case, but you still can't get out because the police saw your face? This is crazy to me. Bad is double jeopardy. And that's not even allowed in the court of law. So what's up with this police contact, y'all? So for the police contact, they offer her 1 to 2. Do that sound like justice to you? And they call that a plea. The whole thing just baffles me. For a court date, 9 months she had to wait. And she came away with 11.5 to 23 months. They pull all kinds of stunts. She was given no good time, so she had to do it all. For nothing at all. No new case, just the police seeing her face. The case was thrown away, but the violation is here to stay. It's all part of the game, designed to keep us enslaved in the system. Please hear me. I need y'all to listen. You can get a 5-year parole and 20 years later you still on that same number. They try to keep you on it forever. They are so clever. It works for them to keep us in the system. Once again, please listen. Retreat Prison is closing and it's an outcry. They talking about the devastating impact the closing of Retreat will have on their town and the economy. Do you see? They don't want us to be free. They profit off our misery. The Corrections Union says that they will fight the prison shuttering. Are you listening to the words I'm uttering? They don't want us to be free. Prison is a big money-making industry. And probation and parole is one of the tools they use to detain you and me. Keep us in this bondage, legalized slavery. And even when you're on parole, you still ain't free. You still got the master holding that key. They can keep you out or put you back in. Your freedom means nothing to them. You go back in, another one is coming out. Parole officers are going to keep a job, no doubt. And now, there's Bree. She got 6 months for retail theft. It's 33 months later and she still ain't left. She was on probation for a DUI from 15 years ago. They kept adding to her back time so they wouldn't have to let her go. They want to keep you on that leash so you can have no peace. Somebody can just say you did something and we have no win. We locked up again. Can't get no bail, so we stuck in jail. Rachel was arguing with another girl about a man. The girl told a lie that Rachel hit her. Next thing you know, they came to get her. They put Rachel back in jail. She's on parole, so she can't prevail. The system is designed for us to fail. It's a vicious cycle we stuck in, and we don't have a win. I told you before, I'm telling you again. I have state parole in a court of law. I'm fighting for me, and I'm fighting for y'all. If I win, then you do too. State parole, I'm coming for you. make your change, your laws and your policies too. You gave my youngin' a 5-year hit on a 4-year sentence. You should be on your knees making repentance for the evil that you do. It's going to come back to you. It's going to come back double too for what you have put our families through. Ain't no good going to come to you. Nella's husband called on her for domestic abuse. Then he changed his story, but it was of no use. Parole is so obtuse. Even though her husband said no, Parole wouldn't let her go. She still had to wait a year to get clear. They don't want to let us out of here. The longer we stay, the better they payday. And when you do leave, you still ain't free. Not if you're on parole or probation. Listen to me. You just a yo-yo. For any little thing, back to jail you go. It doesn't have to be justified. You can go back just because somebody lied. Sue did 27 months for a 12-month violation. This is more of state parole's creation. She had no new charge, just a tech. But that ain't stopped parole from coming for her neck. She couldn't do no programs until she got a status sheet. See how they cheat? It took a year for the sheet to come. They know what they're doing. They ain't dumb. They use all kind of taxes to keep us in here. And the situation is not unique, my dear. This is what they do. These cases are nothing new. I just wanted to highlight a few for you so you know what we're going through. And know that I'm on month 38 from a sentence of 9 months, 1 week. I will write more about this fight in my next speech. They want to break me down for me to be weak, so I no longer have the strength to speak. But no, I will continue to stay strong. My undying hatred gives me the strength to carry on. You killed the child that unto me was born. As my enemy, you are duly sworn. One day I will be free, and I will be speaking out openly. You have a strong opponent in me. You will see, once I am free, of your own laws. You are in violation. We need to abolish parole and probation.